Hi, hello, welcome to another Paralives video. Today I have for you a clown themed kitchen inspired by the clown fridge. This kitchen is very blue and red, lots of primary colors. I probably went a little overboard with the matchy-matchiness of it all, but I honestly think it came out really good. I also did some more customization with this space. I experimented with the color wheel and all the ways to customize the space. There is one flaw in this build though, and there is a gap between the kitchen wall and the dining space by the bay window area. I don't know what caused it. It did happen shortly after I did a room separator, I believe. You can kind of see it here, so it might have been before then, but there's just kind of like a gap there in the wall, and I don't know what caused it. I tried a lot of things to fix it, but it just kind of stayed there. I even tried to cover it up, but it just would not let me place objects in it, which it's not too bad. You don't really notice it after I put a whole lot of stuff in this room. It's kind of just there. But for this actual kitchen space, I used this scallop wall and I put it in a dark blue color. Right now, I'm just kind of picking out what kind of wall textures I want around the space. I picked this basic paint color for starters, and then I choose a tile floor to go in here. And at first, it's very loud, it's very busy. This is me separating out the space because I wanted to have wood floor in the non-kitchen part of the area and just the dining space. And then I've kind of put a white paneling over here as well. It's more of a neutral space over there, but it quickly becomes unneutral in a little bit. But I do change this scalloped paper to be the dark blue, and then I changed this wall to be a more vibrant orange color. And then for the actual kitchen space, I will be placing down the fridge and an oven. I will be changing the oven to a bright red color, which is what I'm going to be doing with this tile here in just a moment. At first, I thought I was going to go with white tile, but it seemed out of place, oddly enough, to just be plain white. I do change the grout color. I actually changed the grout color to match the walls. I thought I made it red, but I guess I changed it to match the paint. And then here I am pulling out that clown fridge, which I found out that at 3 a.m. it sticks its tongue out, which is kind of creepy. But clowns are creepy, so it makes total sense. And then I will be grabbing out these cheaper base game cabinets. Base game as if there is anything else in the Paralives but the base game. I am so used to The Sims and having to say base game or what pack they're from, but literally everything is just base game in Paralives. I choose many different counters because I didn't want the counters to just all look the same, and everybody's kitchen has different kinds of counters for different kinds of needs. But I do make them all a very vibrant yellow and a very, very vibrant red. And I also changed the knobs to reflect the little buttons on the fridge. I make them the little round colors. I leave them the silver color because it kind of matched the appliances. The fridge kind of looks like it has like a brassy gold handle to it, but it matched enough for me to not care. But here I am picking out the upper cabinets and changing the colors of those as well. The bad things about these hex codes is that for some reason in my game I can't copy paste, so I have to just type them in. I had a Word document open on my other monitor and just retyped them all, so my cabinets and my counters now have this really cool color combination, and it's going to have that really cool color combination in like every build. So if I randomly want to put McDonald's colored cabinets, I can go ahead and do that. But it is very much looking like McDonald's. It's giving Playhouse vibes, not a real kitchen vibes. I also make this peninsula over here as well to get some kitchen seating. I use these bar stools that look like plastic bar stools, and then I make them more of a vibrant color because the color that they had on them was kind of like matte looking metal, and it looked really dull and not how I wanted it, so I just changed it to a different metal swatch and it came out better. I also do use this orange color for most of the room along with that stool, and I make that microwave over there in the corner in orange color as well. It's to reflect the one orange button that's on the fridge. I kind of wanted to bring that out and make it pop. And And then over this peninsula, I use these pendant lights. I make them a dark blue color. I was toying with the fact of making them red, but I wanted to bring out more of the blue since there's so much red and yellow in this particular part of the kitchen that I thought bringing out the blue was way nicer. And then the one thing you don't see me struggle with there is me trying to line them up and make them perfect. I don't think they're perfect still, but it's close enough to where you can't really notice it. And then over here for the dining space, I choose this round table and a bench seat with it. I don't think the bench seat is functional. Would be really cool if it was. I mean, it's in the dining room category, so I would assume it would work, but I highly, highly doubt that it works. And then I go ahead and make these chairs bright blue. As I said before, I kind of wanted this to be a neutral area, or at least more neutral than the rest of the space. So I use a lot of softer wood tones in here. I play off of the white. I just make this bench seat the same, roughly the same color as the table since I couldn't grab the hex code from that, which is very upsetting that I couldn't just like click on that and edit the color. But it is what it is. And then I use this rug, which was giving clown vibes underneath the table. And then I just put up some basic blinds. I thought about doing some actual curtains, but I didn't like how they were clipping with the wall and they just didn't look right. So I just used these wooden blinds, didn't change the color at all. I also didn't change the color of this mirror because it was already the red color that I liked. And then I will be putting this light here. It's like this really cool retro like stained glass light. I really liked it, thought it fit the vibe of the kitchen. However, when I changed to nighttime and actually look at the lighting situation, that light is so bright. I couldn't even change the brightness setting on it, so I got rid of it and changed it out for one of the pendants hanging over the counter, and I just made that one red instead. And then to finish off this dining space, I just put a couple plants over there. I don't change the plant pots. I leave them those neutral colors. I had some salt and pepper shakers, a napkin holder. I think about putting plates on the table, making it really decorative, but I didn't want to go too far because then I would have been here forever. And then I quickly moved back into the kitchen area. I added this pantry. I did two different ones and made them as wide as they could go without doubling it up. And then I swapped the handles on the one side so it looks like you can just open it up and it's interconnected. I just wanted there to be visually more kitchen space, more pantry space. And then on this wall over here, I kind of started to make a gallery wall. I mean, you could technically still call it a gallery wall. But I thought the calendar was way too high up on the wall, so I bring it down and I just kind of make an exclamation point with these two paintings. I thought these two paintings specifically were giving clown energy, so I left them up there. I put a clock up here as well, and I noticed that the textures in my game, I think it might just be because I don't have settings on like full blast, but some of the settings and stuff are a little blurry, or at least the settings, the rendering and like the object detailing is a little blurry, but that is probably just my computer and not having the settings all the way high. But I do think this wall area over here looks really cute. I layer this bunting underneath everything. It came in the exact colors that I've wanted, which made me really excited. And then over here above the counter, I put this little ivy picture line thing. Over here, I thought it was really cute. I thought it might be from the person who lives here, which I don't think that they're a clown. I just think that they have a very good appreciation for clowns and they love clowns. Couldn't be me. You would not catch me living in this house and using this kitchen in particular. But I do add a egg rug in here because I thought it added some fun to the kitchen, as if the kitchen wasn't already fun and whimsical. And then I had a recycle bin, and then I add this cart over here under the window. It just seemed really empty, which you kind of need the space over here to like maneuver around and cook with. But I felt like it was also empty. I thought about putting a plant, but that just seemed way too much. So instead, I put this cart over here, and I put some flour. I think that's olive oil on the top. I'm pretty sure that's a bottle of whiskey, question mark. Put that up there. I put a basket of eggs, and then in this second one, I put some cleaning sponges. I put a lot of cleaning sponges. I put like a little notepad maybe that you grab out to like write down what groceries or stuff that you need to get. And then in the bottom part, I put a watering can for the plants that are currently in the kitchen because I do put some more plants here in a little bit. And then I put a screwdriver, I think, down there at the bottom just to fill up space. I needed some clutter. There is some really good clutter in this game. There's just not clutter that I was looking for to clutter up this cart. And then I put an Among Us because why not? It was there. And then to finish off the kitchen area, I get an orange dishwasher and a orange coffee pot. Once again, to bring out the orange in the button on the fridge, and then I recolor this coffee pot to be orange. I don't think it's in the video, but I do put a fire extinguisher next to the dishwasher along with a smoke alarm right above there on that wall. Oh, and then I also put a bag of coffee and some coffee mugs over here. And then I'm basically just gonna finish cluttering up the kitchen. Over here on the island, I put a dish rack, some paper towels. I put a couple plants. By the fridge, I put a basket of bread. I hang up a fruit basket sort of thing on the wall. And then I add some activities on the island. I believe I put a puzzle, and then I make it look like somebody was coloring. So there's a stack of paper, I think it's finger paints, and then the little crayon box from Unpacking that they added to the game. And then there's this utensil holder, which is supposed to have that really cool like texture on it, but again, I think it's just my game not having the settings on full blast. And that is pretty much the end of this build. I do not know how to get stuff up on the Steam Workshop, so this is currently not available to have in your own game if you would like to. Don't know why you would, but I'm very sorry that it's not. I have been doing some digging. I'm still trying to figure it out. I've tried a lot of things, and I can't figure out how it works. I'm just gonna have to keep trying, I guess. And honestly, it's probably something really, really obvious, and I'm just blind and I can't see it. But we are adding the last of the clutter here, and then we are going to be going into the screenshots for this video. But I do really hope that you enjoyed this build. It was a lot of fun and just something really silly that I wanted to do in the game. It was an idea actually that I had sitting after I did the mouth fireplace. But here are the screenshots. You will see some extra stuff in there that I added off camera. I think for the next one, I kind of want to try to use either the lake lamp or the tiger couch next. But I'll just have to see what I get inspired by. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!